The house was quiet, the kind of quiet that felt heavy, like the air itself was holding its breath. The living room was bathed in the soft glow of a single lamp, its light spilling over the plush cream sofa and the mahogany coffee table where a half-empty wine glass sat. The faint scent of lavender from the diffuser mingled with the aroma of the roasted chicken we'd had for dinner. It was a Tuesday night, ordinary in every way, yet something felt off. I sat in my armchair, the one I'd claimed as my own over the years. It's leather-worn, but comfortable. My wife, Evelyn, was across from me, her legs tucked beneath her. As she scrolled through her phone, her robin hair caught the light, and for a moment, I was struck by how beautiful she still was. After all these years, but then I noticed the way her thumb paused over the screen. The way her jaw tightened ever so slightly. Before she forced a smile and looked up at me. "Everything okay?" I asked, my voice breaking the silence. "Of course," she replied too quickly. "Just work stuff, you know how it is." I nodded, but the unease in my gut didn't dissipate. Lately, Evelyn had been distant, her mind somewhere else, even when she was right beside me. I chalked it up to stress. Our daughter's wedding was just weeks away, and Evelyn had taken on the bulk of the planning. But tonight, something felt different. I glanced at the clock on the wall. 9:47 p.m., the house was too quiet. Too still. Even the ticking of the clock seemed louder than usual, each second a reminder of the tension simmering beneath the surface. The first real clue came a week later. I was in the kitchen pouring myself a cup of coffee, when Evelyn's phone buzzed on the counter. I didn't mean to look, but the name on the screen caught my eye. Mark? I didn't know a Mark. The message preview read, "Can't wait to see you tonight." 8 p.m., my stomach dropped. I told myself it was nothing. That Mark could be a coworker, friend, anyone. But the knot in my chest tightened as I remembered the late nights Evelyn had been working, the way she'd been dressing up more than usual, the faint scent of cologne that wasn't mine lingering on her clothes. That evening, I followed her. I told myself I was being paranoid, that I was overreacting, but the truth was, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. I parked a block away from the restaurant she'd entered, my hands gripping the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles turned white. Through the window, I saw her sitting at a corner table with a man I didn't recognize. He was tall, with dark hair and a confident smile. They were laughing, their heads close together, and when he reached across the table to touch her hand, something inside me shattered. I didn't confront her that night. I couldn't. Instead, I went home and poured myself a drink, the bitterness of the whiskey matching the taste in my mouth. I sat in the dark replaying the scene in my mind, wondering how long it had been going on, how I hadn't seen it sooner. The wedding day arrived a whirlwind of flowers, music, and laughter. Our daughter Lily looked radiant in her ivory gown, her smile lighting up the room as she walked down the aisle. I stood at the front, my heart swelling with pride, but the joy was tinged with a deep, unshakable sadness. Evelyn stood beside me, her hand resting lightly on my arm, but the gesture felt hollow. It was during the toasts that everything unraveled. Evelyn stood, her glass raised, and the room fell silent as she began to speak. "Lily," she said, her voice trembling slightly, "you've always been the light of our lives. But there's something I need to tell you. Something I should have told you a long time ago." She paused, her eyes flicking to me, before she continued. "Your father, he's not your real father." The room erupted in gasps. Lily's face went pale, her eyes wide with shock. I felt the weight of every gaze in the room, the whispers spreading like wildfire. But before Evelyn could say more, I stepped forward, my voice cutting through the chaos. "And you," I said, my tone cold and steady, "are not her real mother." The silence that followed was deafening. Evelyn's mouth opened, but no words came out. Lily looked between us, her voice barely a whisper. "What are you talking about? Who am I?" The truth was a tangled web of lies and secrets, one that had been buried for over 2 decades. Evelyn and I had been unable to conceive, and in our desperation, we turned to surrogacy. But the surrogate, a young woman named Clara, had disappeared shortly after giving birth, leaving us with a baby and no answers. We'd raised Lily as our own, burying the past and pretending it didn't exist. But Evelyn's affair had unearthed more than just her infidelity. In my search for answers, I discovered that Clara hadn't disappeared. She'd been paid off by Evelyn to stay away. And Mark, the man I'd seen her with, wasn't just her lover, he was Clara's brother, and he'd been blackmailing Evelyn for years. As the pieces fell into place, I realized that Evelyn's betrayal went deeper than I'd ever imagined. She hadn't just cheated on me, she'd lied to me too, Lily, to everyone. And now, she'd tried to destroy me in front of everyone we loved. But I wasn't going to let her win. The fallout was swift and brutal. Evelyn's reputation was in tatters. Her affair, and the truth about Lily's parentage, splashed across the headlines. Mark was arrested for blackmail, and Clara, now a successful businesswoman, reached out to Lily, offering her the chance to get to know her biological family. As for me, I stood tall amidst the wreckage, my heart heavy but my resolve unshaken. I'd lost my wife, but I'd gained something far more important, the truth. And as I watched Lily embrace Clara, tears streaming down both their faces, I knew that no matter what, I'd done the right thing. Some betrayals don't break us, they build us into something stronger. And as I walked away from the ruins of my old life, I knew that I was ready to start anew. What would you have done in this situation? Do you think the protagonist's actions were justified? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more gripping tales of betrayal, revenge, and redemption.